Will the Liberal Party learn?
Well, I mean, I like Peter Dutton, but as you said, he's just surrounded by the sort of people that probably cost Tony Abbott his prime ministership. You know, the descent of the Liberal Party really goes back to the defenestration of Tony Abbott, I'd say. But you're right; it's a real problem, and it's made worse by our preferential voting system, where you have to choose between Labour and the Liberals at some point in the ballot. No other country has that, or maybe one other in the South Pacific. It's a very big problem, our voting system. You can't punish the party that you're sort of inclined to vote for.
But you make the point, and this is where the Liberal Party have got to understand. James Allan makes this point that every US Republican governor who stood up against lockdowns on the basis that these were massive inroads into civil liberties, they were unwarranted on the facts, but he makes the point each Republican governor who stood against all this rubbish is now politically better off. James, you cite Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, who won the 2018 governorship, by just, tens of thousands of votes. But in 2022 last year, he won a massive landslide, the biggest ever for a Republican. Please tell our viewers why.
Well, I think it's because he just stood up for freedom when it came to the pandemic. He closed down, locked down for about 2 weeks, maybe 3, and then he realized the way Sweden was doing it was better. And your viewers need to realize that the one measure you cannot game is cumulative excess deaths. You look at how many people normally die, and anything above that is called an excess death. And the country in the West that has the lowest excess deaths, cumulative, from start of pandemic to now, is Sweden. And Sweden didn't lock down, they didn't shut down the schools, they didn't ruin the lives of young people, they didn't ruin small businesses. And the problem was, Scott Morrison had no values at all. He didn't believe in free speech. He made idiotic claims about how free speech never created a single job. Well, I tell you, it created a lot of jobs if you understand the competitive forces that free speech unleashes. And if you look and see what we did to this country during the pandemic, a little bit of free speech would have been pretty helpful.
Yes.